everybody, this is Michael out in Maui. Aloha. So if you've been enjoying all the contents I've been putting out, I recommend subscribing to the channel. So let's talk body mechanics and how to develop your body mechanics so that you can learn to throw hard and straight instead of being out of control and grip locking the disc all the time. So learning to throw hard is a progression. You start throwing from a short distance and then you go farther and farther away to throw harder and harder. The thing is, most people try to throw hard before they're ready to actually throw hard. It's like putting. You ever sit there and putt from 20 feet away and all your body mechanics are really good, you're hitting your putt. You move back to 30 feet and all of a sudden your brain says you have to throw it harder. So the next thing you know, your arm is doing all kinds of things to throw the disc harder, and all your mechanics break down because all of a sudden your head is, you got to throw it harder. You're at 30 feet. But the whole thing is you got to stay at the same form and then do 25 feet. Get used to 25 feet. Then maybe move back to 30 feet. You got to increment because you got to be able to keep the form of your throw and not get out of control with your throw. So you don't want to jump right into, like I said, grip locking it. I mean, grip lock is done because people are trying to throw super hard. But maybe, it's like you said, you're probably not ready to throw that hard. Just throw, 200 feet. Don't try to throw 300 feet, So the form, you got to keep your form. So like when you're learning, just throw easy, get your mechanics, and then as the mechanics get better, you move back farther to make the next throw. But you always got to stay in. If you find yourself getting out of control because you're trying to throw from that new distance, come back forward, start over again. Start with the closer again, get your body mechanics working, get more comfortable, then move backwards again. But you got to learn how to develop the power. You can't go right into power because you haven't developed your body yet to throw at that power. So like here, like if I just throw, into this backstop here or into the soccer goal. So if I'm throwing into the soccer goal, right here, good stance, and just throw. Right into the soccer goal. Next, then I want to move back farther. So then I move back, but my throw, I still need to have the exact same body mechanics and just throw a little harder. But I gotta stay in my form. Don't throw overpowering. Don't, overpower. Just stay at the same form and then throw a little harder. And keep it right on track. Then if you move back farther, because now you got to throw harder because now you're farther. And so let's say you get back here. Now you go up to throw, and in your head you're like, wow, that's a long way. And the next thing you know, you break down your body mechanics and you do something like this, because you're trying to throw it farther. So next thing you know, you grip lock it. You're here, and now you threw the disc to the right, because you're so, nervous about being able to throw it far enough. So if you get to a point where you're like, okay, I'm not hitting my targets, then, move back forward. Come back up here to a distance where you were throwing good, here. Throw with your body mechanics again, get some good throws in. Then after that, move back farther. But you don't want to just jump right into, throwing as hard as you can, and you develop a grip lock, And then you spend all your time trying to figure out how to fix the grip lock. And a lot of times the grip lock is simply because you went too fast with your, abilities. You got to stay in your abilities. So just like I say, so throw, like if it's 100 feet, throw 100 feet. Then, keep that same body mechanics, and then throw harder, keep that stance, and you'll push the disc out to 200 feet. And then eventually you push it out 250 feet. But you just got to go in increments so that you can, you got to pace your body and your form to your arm speed, and learn all this first. Because like I said, it's just like putting. Putting, I do that all the time. As soon as I get back to 30 foot, 40 foot putt, first thing in my head is you have to throw it harder. And a lot of times my form breaks down because all of a sudden I'm thinking I have to throw it harder, and I'm not thinking my form to get that harder. It breaks down. So, but anyway, so to learn to throw hard, you have to start by throwing shorter distances. Learn to throw 100 feet really good. Then learn to throw 150 feet really good. Don't jump from, I'm trying to learn and I just yak the disc to the right all the time, because that's, like I said, you're not going to learn to develop the body, to throw hard. So, but anyway, so I just recommend taking your time. Learn to throw, get your body mechanics, then try to throw harder and harder as you get better with your body mechanics. And I think you'll notice that you're going to throw a lot more accurate and a lot more power, and you're going to have a lot more confidence on longer throws because you're not going to come out of your throw. So anyways, this is Michael out in Maui. Aloha.